Thank you. Thank you for being in this meditation and allowing yourself to come to that still place. Place of presence and of relaxation, of fulfillment. In fact, it's the only place where you can experience fulfillment. You might look for it in different places, but this is the place where it can be found. And it's the same as the realization of the extension of love itself, as that's my true being. So as a preparation, or however you want to call it, to the talk that we're going to hear later on, so I walked up against a couple of aspects that Joel describes and Joel teaches about, and so then it's always, to me, helpful to stand still with certain parts that he mentions a lot, where the temptation comes to say, like, oh yes, of course, I'm, say, carnal mind. I'm carnal, like as a human being, you're carnal mind. But then to continue and listen to what he says instead of standing still at carnal mind. What actually is that? So there are certain aspects that I want to take a look at. Carnal mind is impersonal. That's one of the expressions that you see him sharing a lot. Carnal mind is impersonal. But what does that entail? How does that? How are you supposed to look at that? So then the other part is the transformation, the transformational process, or the path to enlightenment. Is that in fact a selfish path? Like you do it for yourself and all this. So Joel asked this question too. He answered it immediately too, but I want to stand still with it. And there was another one. Let me see. I wrote it down. He had this example of when you throw mud into pure water, like the two will never mix because they don't belong to one another. Like the mud will sink to the bottom and the water will be pure again. So that was another expression that I want to take a look at. So these are just 3 ingredients of the talk that we're going to listen to, but essential. Essential parts are in it. So one of them is, as I said, carnal mind is impersonal. So carnal mind sounds like a fleshy kind of mind, a mind connected to a body, having ideas about a body, having, locating itself into a certain place because it is material. Seemingly influenced by time, See, there's a lot, connected to the idea of carnal mind, of a fleshy you. While you actually know that is not you, you identify with it. And you're in the process of shifting your awareness from this carnal idea about yourself to spiritual man, like allowing that to be revealed to you. So carnal mind is impersonal. So if you would accept that, then you would have a lot less problems than you perceive now, maybe. Or your mind is already so illumined that you don't have any problem with that. That's wonderful too. So it is like carnal mind, the fleshy you that identifies itself with that matter, with that location, with those characteristics, with this age, with these relationships, with this perception, with all of that. You cannot really say for yourself, probably, I'm just filling this in for you, but you probably cannot say to yourself that you see that as impersonal. And so that's why I mentioned this, because you can accept it as an idea, but looking at the consequences of it, it is always a different story. Like it comes with a whole, say, set of ideas that are connected to it. In fact, if you start to accept this idea that carnal mind is impersonal, you start your process of resurrection. You start your process of a physical resurrection, because then you allow your view to be changed from a fleshy, carnal idea about yourself to something else, something that you don't know yet, that you're going to find out. So, and this is interesting because, see, everything that we hear from Joel, everything that we read from Joel has always to do with healing, with physical healing, with spiritual healing, with all these aspects of recognizing that you're not what you think that you are. You're not this body. You're not carnal mind. Whatever you think about it, like, in fact, it needs to be nothingized. Like, it is not what it appears to be. It has nothing to do with what you see and how you see it. It has nothing to do with your senses, with your perception. And what you're going to discover certainly is there, because accepting this step by step and searching for the light and for, your path of enlightenment, in fact, being on that path, you start to catch glimpses of light and love and a deep fulfillment out of nowhere. At least that's how it appears to be. And so that changes everything. That changes your cellular configuration. Like that heals. That starts to your face starts to shine. You start to discover, like, oh my God, actually there are some shifts occurring, and I'm feeling better, say, about myself, but I actually don't think I have anything to do with it. It's more like that. Like something has fallen away, fallen off of me, that I don't need to carry anymore. So the whole acceptance of the idea of an impersonal carnal mind is a great help, but also very confrontational for your human ideas about yourself. Like, these need to be transformed in order for you to accept these as a truth. So you can also say, in the end, carnal mind does not exist. It has no reality whatsoever. It is an idea that you hold, and you personalize it just to be attached to it, and as some kind of a safety device. And it works for a moment. It appears that way, but then you see, no, definitely that is not me, because whatever I was looking for in this realm of carnal mind will not satisfy. It will not fulfill. It will not communicate. It will not do anything, in fact. And this is where you come to on your spiritual path. So at the end of your, journey with your carnal mind, with your fleshy you come to a point where you recognize, no, this cannot be it. There has to be something else. And that opens you literally up for a different experience of yourself. Suddenly you feel that you're looking for something else. You look beyond the limitations of carnal mind. You look for the real you, in fact. You want to know, you want to come to know who you truly are. And that's where something starts to happen. And that's why you see, it's like, we have this expression that I just read too, with the, say, dirt sounds really dirty. sounds really dirty too. Like you throw mud in the water, in pure water, and it will not mix. For a moment it looks like it, and you might, say, get a bit confused. you might not see the pure water, but it is there. It is there. So by calming down, by quieting everything down, suddenly there's more clarity. Suddenly something is being revealed to you, but something that is so familiar to you, that has everything to do with you, that you recognize, oh my God, I never was apart from this. This has always been a part of me. See, and that is in fact the beauty of this description that Joel comes up with. It's like the mud will not mix with the water. Only for a moment it can look like it, but then it sinks down back to the bottom, and the water is pure again. This light can shine right through it. So, and then how about this idea of a selfish path of enlightenment? Like you might think that, like, okay, whatever I do, I'm actually choosing for myself to come to know who I am. Like that becomes the focus of my life. And is that selfish? And Joel immediately answers too. It's like, no, that's absolutely not selfish. In human eyes, it might be looking like that, but this entails a little bit more than just this, say, short consideration. So it goes deeper than that, which is really great. So you are looking for, say, you're looking for the light. You're looking for an experience of communication, of a release of this self-identity as you know it, of the release of this carnal mind, of the release of what you think you are, and you want to open up for a new experience of yourself, one that is connected to truth, one that is everything to do with light and love and fulfillment and freedom and peace and all these attributes that are, say, contained in your self-realization. So the great part is, and this is really like what gives it a whole different dimension altogether, is this. Like the fact that you're looking for that is also the discovery that everything is included in that there is nothing outside of your consciousness that could have any influence on you in this. Like you are determined to literally discover the light in you and start to connect with that and start to enjoy that, but also to start to extend that and see that there literally is no there's nothing outside of that. Like it is the only thing that is going on. So then the whole idea of selfishness disappears too, because if there's literally only you extending yourself in connection with every aspect of creation, how could anything be selfish then? Like, no, this has everything to do with you as an extension of yourself in the whole of who you are. So that's why you can say, like, well, no, this is not a selfish act. It might feel that way in the beginning, or say the ones around you might give that back to you in an idea that like only as a reflection of your own ideas of guilt about it. But and this is what I experienced, like when I, at a certain point in the transformation, yes, I certainly felt that way. And I felt a bit like sneaky, that I was closing my eyes all the time. Like, well, this is where I feel the best. I really want to get in touch with me, like with the truth of who I am. I really don't care that much about what I see out there. See, in this, and yeah, these are not sacrifices. These are not selfishness that brings it to it. But in your transformation, it can be a real part of it that you feel that is occurring. Like, well, no, I will not show up at this party. I will not go there. Now I decide to stay still and take time to be still for a moment with myself. Maybe use this afternoon for relaxation instead of going out there. Or who knows what you're going to do. Not in terms of a sacrifice, but more like, no, this is a desire to take time to enter into silence, into stillness, just like we did in the meditation. It's like, how nice is that to just be completely present for a moment in the stillness of who you are, completely relaxing into that. Or just sitting still together with whoever you are and allowing that silence to speak and to share with one another without saying one word, but the energy, the communication is automatic when you step back out of it and see like, oh, this is such a holy instant that we have together. So such a beautiful moment of communication, and you can share that with your brother. You can, extend that. You can call that healing, of course. So this is, Joel describes a lot in the talk about practitionership, in fact, because that has everything to do with this too. It's like we practice coming into stillness, into communication, as a way to heal, as a way to be, and extend your love to your brother. And the healing, and always by accepting it for yourself, by becoming still. So these are important things in this talk. These are just a couple of them. Like there's a lot in this talk. You probably recognize that when you listen to it, and when we listen to it together too. It's like, how great is that? Now we're going to listen as one to this tape, and Joel is right here with us. It's like, this is not something that happened in 1955 or whatever the year was. No, Joel is right here with us, sharing this with us, and being present in it with us too. Because, see, the temptation to think that there's a longevity or a timeline or continuity in time is another aspect of carnal mind. No, we're entering into timelessness when we listen to this, and timelessness is timelessness. It's like it has no time characteristic anymore. So that means it has everything to do with presence, with awareness, with being here, being present. So that means you can have, you can call a visitor. Like Joel is our visitor, is our teacher today, and we're going to listen to him. So that's what we're going to do. So in a moment, I will set us up for listening to it and being able to, receive this together. So we're probably going to listen to the first half hour of the tape, and let's take a little break, and then come back, say in 5 minutes or so, and we start to listen to the tape. All right? Thank you so much.